people are frustrated.
Mm.
People are, there was this one lady who I think captured what I've been feeling so beautifully. And she was very gracious. And she said, you are an intelligent person, you are well spoken, you are polite, you are mannerable, and I appreciate all those things. But you are not what's needed for this moment.
Hmm.
Point blank.
The lady in gray with
The
the
lady
gray
in
hair.
gray with the gray
Yes.
hair.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I was like, that is what I feel, not just for Ivy,
Hmm.
but for many of the leaders. They are not equipped to lead in this moment.
One, two, three, four.
But good morning.
Good
Um,
tell.
am I? Yeah, I wish I could give
Mm.
you a screenshot of what's going on in my world, but I don't want to stress you out.
No, well, mine's a bit.
Um,
I'm a bit in disarray myself.
yes, that's what it
I
is.
realize,
Disarray.
every Thursday or most Thursdays we have home group. For those of you who will tune in. Oh, like and
Sorry.
click and all of that
Oh
stuff.
yes, like and click and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We should, well, if it was later in the day, maybe we could have a drinking game every time we said like and click
You know what? We can still do that. We'll do that, but
with our morning.
with our morning beverage, or
Yeah.
whenever. I don't even have one.
So anyway,
That's
oh
how it
yeah.
is.
Oh
But
yeah.
I did want to say, good job, Cherie, for the like and click and subscribe. Um, and I did want to say, Kyrie and I watched the town hall last night.
Oh good.
So Maryland, or was it PG County? Was it? Yeah,
Yes, it
PG
was
County's town hall.
whatever his district is. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, we watched it. I watched the entire thing, stayed up till like 12 something at night
Wow.
because I got in a little bit late. I was visiting a friend, and it was it was riveting TV.
Yes, yes,
We'll
yes.
say that. I'm sorry, my light
Yeah.
keeps, I think my battery is dying on my light.
Yeah.
It was riveting TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And um, my, so thank you for sending it to me. I would have actually gone to that. So
I know.
part of what I am gonna do research today, because I'm signed up for all the things.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
I said, I did not see this, but maybe I overlooked it. It's been a busy week and I've been
and you were in
traveling.
New York. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so perhaps, so I'm gonna go back and look for that to see like what the word, why. I mean, but I was happy to watch it. I'm happy it happened. I was very impressed with the questions that the people brought,
Yeah.
and I did notice some themes,
Yes.
and
Well,
that.
I'm excited to talk with you about it. Like
Okay, so let's just
and
jump in
listen
it.
to you. Listen, because this impacts you.
Yeah, I'm a Maryland resident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's really it hits home because you're hearing from your elected
That's better.
official what's going on,
Yes.
their perspective, his perspective, but
Yeah.
also insight in terms of what's happening in the party. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that there was an overall trend
Hmm.
that people are frustrated.
Hmm.
People are, there was this one lady who I think captured what I've been feeling so beautifully. And she was very gracious. And she said, you are an intelligent person, you are well spoken, you are polite, you are mannerable, and I appreciate all those things. But you are not what's needed for this moment.
Hmm.
Point blank.
The lady in gray with
The
the
lady in
gray hair.
gray with the gray
Yes.
hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that is what I feel, not just for Ivy,
Mm-hmm.
but for many of the leaders. They are not equipped to lead in this moment. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's for, um, different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One, I feel if it's like lights on, lights off, it's just my situation. My light is it's dying. But I think it's for different
You
situations that they
just real
mentioned.
quick. You
Go
know
ahead.
your mom won't recognize you with the
I know
hollow
she
on
won't.
them. She when
She
she
won't
sees you.
recognize me.
Okay.
She's like, "Who is that? That's not you." Mommy, it is me. No, it's not. No, it's not. She won't recognize me. She won't
Okay.
recognize me. But I think it's one they several people had questions that he didn't. Several people had questions about. Hey, your hands are kind of complicated financially.
We've talked about
We've
this.
talked about this, and his answer was just like disturbing. So sometimes he deflected, other times he was like, "Yes, I'm going to keep receiving the money. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I am," and didn't see a problem with it. Not there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even like I think what I thought was disappointing, like a pause or reflection to say, "Hey, maybe that has complicated things. Maybe that has like there was no space for that with him." So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think like, okay, why aren't they able to rise to this moment? You're complicit. You're receiving money. You can't fight or stand in the way when you're not. And one person brought up AOC and was like, well, that's not the only way it has to be. AOC doesn't take any money. So that's one reason. And then I think another reason is it's like, gosh, do y'all know how to fight and just fight? Like, what
She
are you
also said get arrested, which
get
we've been
arrested?
saying from the
Get
very
arrested. But
beginning.
did you hear his response under his breath to that
Did he say
with a
I've
little
listened to?
smirk? He did a little smirk. I didn't appreciate that actually.
Oh, what
He
did he say?
said, well, yeah, I've done that. I've
Oh,
done that.
yeah, yeah, I don't want to, yeah.
So I I I am like people every here's what gave me like when you're like, okay, you've checked my reality. I'm not off thinking crazy, right? All the things that were shared in that town hall were things that were common sense, as AOC is saying. That's her thing she's toting around. Common sense, not radical, real things that I see, feel, and believe. And actually, they're getting advice and strategy. What I wasn't convinced was that the person behind the podium was actually there to listen.
Hmm.
I didn't feel that he was in a posture of truly hearing. To, I'm here with some humility because you have to have humility to do that.
Mhm.
I'm here to really listen. I'm here to get help, right? I need help. And I'm here also to reassure people.
Mhm.
I think that maybe he was focused on maybe I'm reassuring that we're doing something,
Mhm.
but not in the listening. I just was not convinced that he was actually listening. And maybe he was, but I was not convinced about,
Right. Right.
that.
Right. 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 Um, I when I watched it, a couple of things came to mind. One, I don't know him, so
Mhm.
I don't know him. And I want you to know I totally see everything that you saw. I mean,
Mhm.
it was a poor it felt like a very poor, I don't want to use the word performance and the performative, but when you show
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
uh with the humility, with the
Mhm.
listening part. I I wondered about his prep. I
Mm-hmm.
wondered about, did he think he was coming into an
A
environment,
friendly space.
a friendly space? I was like, if he did, and he actually
Mm-hmm.
was coming into a
Yeah.
very supportive space.
Yes.
But what I don't know if he could fully appreciate um, is the pain and the
Mm-hmm.
fear
Mm-hmm.
and the suffering that his constituents are under, the real pressure. The last woman who spoke, I think she was
Yeah.
Indian. I mean,
Yeah.
I was at that point preparing dinner. It because I listened to it again, and
Yeah.
it just tore at my heart.
Yeah.
Her fear,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not sure that he was prepared for that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. And I think what the Democrats did is they employed town meetings as a strategy,
Yes.
right? And so
Yes.
it's almost a
It's a
checkbox
checkbox.
versus no, we actually need to meet with our people.
People.
And I believe in the moment. Here's what the moment requires. Here's how
Mm-hmm.
the Democrats could authentically show up
Mm-hmm.
as who they are, okay? Because they are not gangster thugs.
Right.
And we don't really want, like the gentleman said, to devolve
Yes.
to where this is who we're going to be.
Right.
I've been thinking about this, and I think the Democratic Party could authentically show up, and
Mm-hmm.
AOC is actually doing
Doing
it
it. Yeah.
in a shepherd. It's
Mm-hmm.
called a shepherd, using Old Testament language, almost like a shepherd king, a shepherd leader posture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you show up understanding that this is a moment where I've actually got to bring a caring heart,
Yes.
a and I'm using the word pastoral, not just limited to the church or
Mm-hmm.
anything, but a pastoral heart in the sense of I have to show up and actually care. These people have invested in me hope
Right. Right.
that I see them, that I care for them, that I'm sitting with them, that
Mm-hmm.
I feel their pain. It's kind of what Bill Clinton, way back in the day, was able to
To
do.
do.
And this is why I'm like this moment, whether Bill felt it
Or
always
not. Right.
was able to communicate well.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was hearing Ivy said we have a
Mm-hmm.
messaging problem, we have a communication problem.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but you're failing even in this delivery. Like you're
Yeah.
actually not able to
Mm-hmm.
communicate your heart because
Mm-hmm.
I do believe this man has had a long um he's had a history of public
Mm-hmm.
service.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe he cares. I do believe he gives a damn. I don't believe he did not show it. I don't believe he showed it. But there were
Correct.
ways of engaging all of those questions. People could even say, okay, you're stuck in a system, this
Right.
finance campaign finance reform. Had he demonstrated in that moment, I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I get
Right.
what you think. Had he demonstrated, I care because Bill Clinton
Right.
definitely
Right.
in the pocket.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
they were in the
They
right,
were in the pockets.
but he was able, and maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where are these people who can, from a
Mm-hmm.
genuine place, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying a manipulative place,
No,
like human,
yeah,
being real solidarity.
I understand. And that's the part that's missing. It's the heart. And
Yeah.
at this, and that's why I said it's what was your intention for showing up to this town home for doing it? And I
Hmm.
don't think it was our intention is to listen. This gets back that to me that I have not seen yet where the majority, because AOC and Bernie are out over here. But they're doing stuff, and
They
people are
are.
beginning to shift and listen to them
They are.
because they're doing stuff. But from the Democratic Party, though, with inside, they're over here, right?
Right.
They're over there.
Right.
And I think that, and I think what we're still struggling with, the majority, the Democrat elites, right, is that elitism. It's arrogance.
It is arrogance.
It's arrogance. Arrogance stuffs your ears. You cannot hear. Arrogance blocks your heart. You're not able to feel.
Right.
There was so
Absolutely.
much raw, and I agree with you. It was a friendly space. It wasn't maybe the friendly space that he wanted. It wasn't like, no, we're not going to come and just spend all of our time talking about what Trump and Elon's doing. We know what they're doing.
Right.
Right? We're here to hold you accountable.
Exactly.
We're here to talk to you. We're here because you are our representative and you hold power. We want to know what's the
opposition right now.
exactly.
And we're not listening.
And we're not listening. And I think that if you don't have the capacity to communicate that for whatever reason, it could be just your personality. You know, we all know people that are such tender and warm hearts, right? But you got to crack that shell a lot, you know, for you to feel it. Hey, you're not the person that needs to be in front of people right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not the person that needs to be carrying the message.
Right.
Because not only it didn't inspire anything.
But
I left after that.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing. And Kyrie did too. We watched the entire thing. And you had people, and us, we're residents here, like all those people that showed up. You're showing up wanting. I'm in a posture where I want to be inspired. I want to be encouraged. I want to be motivated. You know what I'm saying? I want that. I did not leave that way. I left more like, oh my gosh.
Well, you know, you left the opposite of what you hope a town hall to do, bring consolation. You left discouraged.
I left discouraged.
And disappointed and disillusioned with your leadership. And that was a failure. And quite frankly, right now you are the guy in the seat. So you are the guy that needed to be able to step up and deliver. And it was a failure of communication, and it was I don't know if he wasn't prepped properly, or I just kind of
I push back on that though. I push back on that because and you can think about yourself, okay? Yeah. You can also think about leaders that you've worked with or people that you know.
Right.
In life, no matter what role, no matter where you work or what role you have, but definitely if you are in a leadership role, okay?
Right.
Every moment in your leadership role is not going to be neatly prescribed to you.
I get that. Yeah.
And that's just truth. And there are moments, and I know because I've heard your stories, right? Where a moment came, it caught you off guard. It didn't come in the way that you thought it was going to come. I have a very specific story in South Africa, okay? And a moment came. The moment did not go the way that you were prepared for it to go. And you leaned in to that moment. And you leaned in with care. Communication is just what's in your mind and in your heart, right? It's just a vehicle.
Right.
It's a vehicle for what's really there in you. And I think what I am trying to say, I did not get the care.
Right.
The care. You can fumble, you can be messy, you can misstep, but if people feel like you care, that's different. And so That's where I push back on that. Yes, it might be true that, hey, I thought I was walking into this room and I kind of got blindsided. That happens. But if you care, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and he definitely did not communicate that
And
he not only did care, he did not communicate that you are feeling everyone else's pain.
yes, that I
Um,
get you and I care.
yeah, I get
And
that.
guess what? I'm holding it too.
You know what
And
it
I
was?
feel responsible and
It
I'm
was
here. Yeah.
it was a lack of empathy,
Yeah.
and so there was no solidarity.
No. And
Yeah,
all it did was do, I think it was towards the end, it might have been the woman who spoke to the moment that you're speaking to, where they're like, almost like, we got to dismiss you, leadership. It's got to
Oh
be
yeah.
us.
Oh, it was this other young lady. Oh gosh, she was powerful too. I think she was talking about his salary, and she was like, "This is the salary of the average citizen in your
Yeah.
and yes." And he just missed the moment. He
There
just
was, yeah, I was so, where I left encouraged was not by our representative or my representative. I was encouraged by my fellow residents and citizens
right,
there. From
right.
the younger
Yeah,
ones and the
yeah,
younger guys.
yeah,
I appreciated their preparedness, their
right.
thoughtfulness. You know what I mean?
Right. And Chantel, even because I'm playing it back, and to be honest, when I listened to that meeting, I'm playing it back. There were moments when I thought he would leave the podium because I know I felt like, oh, I felt in my heart and go to the veteran and
Yes.
to the thing and to go
Yes.
to that woman
Yes.
and just again that care, that shepherding
Right.
heart. Like you're a leader.
You're a
I
leader,
thought
and this is not a moment to stand over. This
I
is a
was
moment to sit
thinking,
with. Why
good.
are you on the stage?
Well,
Why are you separated like
this is
that
what I was gonna say. I feel like it was set up. If you look at Sanders, he's down with the
with the
people.
people?
Even when I'm speaking, when I'm preaching, I mean, I cannot stand being up. I don't
Hmm.
actually, I haven't done it a lot. This will be my third one on Sunday. But I was like, ooh, I really see Josh wants to get rid of that platform and get us,
Hmm.
you know, because this being up, and I mean maybe it's not for cameras because cameras
Right.
can follow you anywhere. And in our little church, please, we don't
Hmm.
even have like there is something about sitting with.
With the people.
And he is not, I did not understand
Hmm.
the setup, the design, and I thought, well, okay, maybe it's because it's in an auditorium, but that doesn't mean anything. He still could have been
Hmm.
with the people on the floor. He
Hmm.
did not, and it was like he couldn't see, he
Right.
couldn't, yeah.
Right. It's
And
just like in another way,
yeah,
Zelensky. Why am I going to be wearing suits? I'm in wartime. My people aren't
exactly.
wearing suits.
Right.
There are so
No
many things that you
solidarity.
can do to show
Mhm.
solidarity.
Yeah, no solidarity.
And again, you're playing from a playbook
Hmm.
that worked in a different time, and it's not what is needed for this moment. And there is a stubbornness at this
Yeah,
point. It's
yeah,
not a skill issue
yeah,
because you're getting the help, you're getting the ideas, it's coming
yeah,
to you. It is a will issue and it's arrogant. It's arrogance, 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 arrogance.
yeah.
And Donald Trump and all of that is not our problem to the
Right.
extent
No.
that the Democrats are.
Yeah,
And because they keep looking
yeah,
over there and wanting to say what's wrong over there,
yes.
we're not spending enough time to say what is wrong here. It's just like in parenting, and I have this belief and I share it, with parents. When I see something in my child that I don't like or that's
Mm-hmm.
concerning, I need to first look at myself, like Kyrie and I.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's where the first correction and adjustments need to come.
That's right.
it's so easy though to just look at the child, right? And only want to kind of correct there. And you're not getting to root stuff when you do that,
Right.
And
Right.
so there is just,
It's a dereliction of duty, and that's what, yeah. And
yeah.
you remind me of, I'm getting ready to share a scripture, but it captures, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
laughing because kids are like, you always got to bring it. You, you are, but it reminds me, Jesus is quoting this scripture out of Isaiah, and I think I took it out of my message, but anyway, it says, they may be ever seeing but never perceiving, and ever hearing but never understanding. And
Yeah.
to me, that's
That
they're just
is
trying.
that
It's
is exactly
ever
that. Send
seeing.
that to me. Send that one
I
to
will,
me.
I will,
That
but never
is,
perceiving,
yes,
and always hearing,
hearing, but
never
never
understanding.
understanding. Yep.
And I think, and Jesus warns, he's like, don't be this type of a
Yes.
person, because you can't actually turn. And
That's
see,
right.
Democrats haven't been able to turn. It really says
Mm-hmm.
you can't turn and
Mm-hmm.
be forgiven. And then what this
That's right.
dereliction of duty is now becoming something that people are feeling like, I'm gonna have to forgive my
That's right.
party because
That's
they're just
right.
failing. They're not hitting the mark. And it is because I think of this thing you described, ever seeing
Yep.
but not
But
perceiving,
not perceiving.
ever
Yeah.
hearing but
But
not
not
understanding.
understanding.
Yeah,
Well, I think that that is exactly what is happening.
yeah,
And I think that they're going to, the power that they feel like they have,
yeah.
they're not going to have it.
No, they're
They're
not.
not, they're not going to have it.
They think they're going to be part of the new regime in
Same. And they're
in
not going to be,
2026, and they don't
and they're not
know.
going to,
They
they're not
don't
going to, you don't
understand that.
understand.
Yeah, we might add some more Democrats, but you won't be
Yes.
the ones that
But
are
you won't
still
be the
there.
ones that are still there.
Yeah.
That also was said last night.
And I really feel that this is where the people also have a responsibility to then look in their communities
Mm-hmm.
and find some, get involved with the
Get involved.
Democratic Party, because they're the ones, the way the machine works. Let's say someone said, Chantel, we want you to run. The
Mm-hmm.
party is the one who decides who
Yeah.
gets the money to
That's
run.
right. That's
So I
right.
really feel like if we're all, Trump has inaugurated a revolution,
Yes.
whether we like it or not. And
Yes.
we are in a revolution. Since we are in a revolution, I think it behooves every community to understand how folks get recruited
Mm-hmm.
and elected, where the money flows. And
Yes.
I really do believe that even if a new machine, because right now Trump is trying to take down Act Blue, which is the saying that this was a terrorist organ or an organization funding terrorism. It's crazy, but it's a very good strategy, because if you can take down the funding vehicle that most of us use when we support our candidates, we will send money to Act Blue, and Act Blue distributes the money. And I feel like folks are going to have to take the time to get a little wonky and get in there and put up some candidates, but also understand how that machine works. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it's not as straightforward as we think. But I do believe that we need to have elected officials that are not all Ivy Leaguers, or not all, just coming from one kind of mindset. I also believe that we need term limits. Because here's the truth. No matter who
Right.
you are, okay?
Right.
You stay in power a long time, hanging around a certain crew, you do not want to give that up.
No, you don't.
You just do not want to give that up, and you get changed by who you hang with. And so we need always this new new
Fresh
blood,
energy,
fresh
fresh
energy.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
100% agree.
I would love term limits. I would be more interested in term limits than fighting the money thing. I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm like, if I could, if it's one or the other, I mean, yeah, great if you get both, but I would push for term limits
Mhm. Mhm.
because money, here's what I know. Special interests
It's
are
gonna
always going to
happen.
find a way to get money to people.
That's
I
right.
just know that,
They're
right?
gonna. Yeah.
But term limits, no matter what, if you can only serve let's say 2 or 3 6-year terms for,
Mhm.
I think it's 6 years worth,
Mhm.
then you're out,
Then you're
buddy.
out. Yep. Go
So
write your book.
go write your book, go da da da
Mhm.
da, but you're out.
That's right. No, it makes so much sense. It makes it makes so much sense, and it does need to change, and it helps to break up the power hold
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just there, and that's
I
just gonna
mean,
be. Well, I
is today a short day?
today's a short day.
Oh,
Today is a
okay,
short day.
okay, okay. Because I was
Today's a short day, and it's a wild day because I'm telling you, my technology is just. Um, but we did it, and we're
we
here,
did
and we
do
do.
it, and it was
Yes,
very,
and
very
it was good, and
interesting.
we were able to have a really good, concise
Mm-hmm,
conversation,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which is great. I next time do want to talk about Tradwives, so I'm
Oh
putting
yes,
that on the radar. So
yes, yes.
that's the next conversation, and especially how it relates to what we're seeing and what we're
Yeah.
in. Are we all trying to be made into a tradwife? Is is our
They're trying to make
country?
the country.
They're trying to make the country into a tradwife. So we're going to be talking about that next time.
Ooh,
We are going to be talking
okay.
about that next time.
Subscribe, people. You'll want to
Subscribe.
join this one.
You will.
Subscribe and click and all the things, Get the
Yes.
bell, hit the bell.
Yes, yes, so that when we drop a video, it will come right to you. And take care of yourself.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. Do something fun, this weekend. Take care of yourself. And we will see you next time, next
Next
week.
time. All
Bye.
right.
All
Ciao.
right. Bye.
Bye.